I missed you so much. I just had to go back on live. I, I just had to go back on live. Guess what I just ordered myself today? A light. A light so that I can actually see my face and start washing my face. So I finally got a light. There's finally one that has become available to where you can screw it up and you can turn it different ways. It's only 40 watts. Well, 40 watts is a lot from what I've been using, but it's so dark in that place. And I'm just like, I couldn't even see my own eyes in the mirror. And then I'm like, no wonder why you couldn't see your eyes, because the mirror was so freaking dirty. So I cleaned the mirror and you can almost see halfway decent. And so I got a light ordered. I've been wanting one for a long time, and now they're inexpensive. I'm not buying nothing unless I absolutely need it, right? And I absolutely need this because I started getting like I have to be able to see my face, right? And I've been waiting years and years to get a light because you know it's like that. It's like a dungeon, and it's only $10 for the light. So I decided tonight. I decided to buy it, so I ordered it up. And you can even put them outside. You know how dark it is around where I live. And now there's new neighbors and they got freaking 1,000-watt lights out there shining right at your window. So I'm just like, hell with it, right? There's one over here. There's one over here now. So I might as well put one up myself. And that's what I'm fun today. Okay, I'm going to put this one in the bathroom, but if I need another one, maybe I'll get another one later. But as far as boycotting Christmas, I'm with it. I'm with it. None of this going down and buying not one, but three of crap you don't even need, right? That's how it used to be. People would go and buy all kinds of crap that they didn't even need, making the billionaires rich so that they can take the money and bribe your representatives, your government representatives, to F your ass over. You don't believe it? Go to my Facebook and look at the video I got put up on there. There's a video up there of this one lady, and she tells you exactly what's going on. That's why they're boycotting Christmas. They already boycotted Black Friday, right? You saw what that was about. There was nobody in the store. And because everything's getting ordered by Amazon. And so I'm gonna go drop a little bit of fuel in here because I'm actually got 1 bar of fuel. And the new electric vehicle that's coming out, um some of these electric vehicles, there was this guy over in Germany, and he was saying that the e-rev is good. And I agree. It is good. You know, for right now it's good. 10 or 20 years into the future, I don't think I don't think you're even going to pay for fuel anymore, right? Because um Nikola Tesla had wireless power transfer, okay? And it's a fact that they burnt that crap down to the ground because everybody was going to be getting free stuff. You don't think they can whip that thing out right now? They won't, because you got all the solar panels and everything. They're all making money off this. But eventually, when man evolves out of this era of brutality, and when they start to straighten up and fly right and share the wealth that they've hoarded, that they've stole, scammed the people from the people, and well, because the people are so slothful, they're like freaking animals. So can you blame them? And um, when they straighten up and start to fly right, they can turn this thing on, and all cars will just start moving because it's wireless. It's wireless power transfer. You won't have to worry about charging your car no more, or range, or having a extra motor to charge your car. And that's what the E-Rev is. It's an extended range, because nobody's going to drive more than 300 miles a day, right? On average, people drive like probably 30 miles or something like that a day. Here, it's probably 60 from Hanford to, the correctional officers. It's probably 60 miles a day. But nobody's going to drive 300 miles a day. That's tedious. That's tedious to drive 300 miles. But if you do, okay, on an E-Rev, you have that motor that'll kick on so you don't have to stop and charge your car. You can freaking be charging it while you're driving. That's an E-Rev, extended range electric vehicle. And so they are good for right now. That's good to have that. It's like having a generator on you. But I'm going to talk to you about something else here. But yeah, on those cars, they drive 38 miles. The new ones that are coming out next year by this one manufacturer who I don't want to mention their name right now. Um, it's an inexpensive electric vehicle. It's like the most inexpensive one in the United States, and it's an extended range electric vehicle. So the motor hardly ever turns on, and it'll go 38 miles before the motor ever turns on. And so if you're just driving to town and going home, going to the library, going to the grocery store, when you get home, you plug it in, you can go months without dropping a drop of fuel in the vehicle. Well, I told you, gasoline goes bad fast, right? So I'll bet they've got a program. They let the people know to let the engine run at least once every 6 months, right? To clear out that fuel that's in there. I'll bet you that's what they're telling them on this, because otherwise, the fuel is going to go bad. Like I told you, I had a lawnmower and I had the fuel. Wait, no, that's because I accidentally poured some fuel that had oil in it. I accidentally poured the 2-cycle oil in there. I think that's probably why. Fuel goes bad. It turns green, and then it won't start. So I'll bet they've got something to where it'll, you know, run the engine whether you need it or not, at least once every 6 months to get rid of that fuel that's in there. So I will talk to you about something else here in a minute, but first I got to go drop a little bit of fuel in this car. You want me to tell you a strange phenomena that you will not believe? People are so weird, and there are secrets that these people know. Like one guy's saying this stuff, um, that they know things that we don't. Right? They're hiding it. Even if you look at the Greek philosophers, they got pissed off at Socrates. I think it was Socrates or this one guy, I forget his name, but these guys, they got pissed off because he was telling the common people secrets they don't want the people to know. Because people are a bunch of dumbasses, I guess. I splurged. Put 4.8 gallons in that bad boy. Hey, anybody, y'all back? I see 2 people coming back in. Huh? You like this information? Good, good, good. Make sure you squeeze that double tap that screen like you mean it. I don't know about you, but a lot of these new cars, the design, to me, they look ugly, right? I like the square design. I remember back in I think it was like 1982. It must have been like 81, 82. Honda came out with the Maxima. I think it was a Maxima, I'm not sure. But it was a nice looking car. One of the best cars I've ever seen. And they had like the square body, right? Not the curvy type body. But one of the best cars I've ever liked was the Mazda Miata. And that's why I bought one. I bought it on eBay. And it was a real good car. So let me go up. Let me see how much fuel I got. I got half a tank. Okay. So let me just cruise on through here through town. And then we'll talk about more stuff that they don't want you to know about. You know what I mean? So, oh, you didn't get to see town. Let me drive through here so you can see it. Okay, this is a little one-horse town, and you really ought to see them. Feels like I'm getting a cold. I don't see why. I've been taking all kinds of antibiotic stuff. So I'll let you see town here. Hey, why does the screen look white? Can't see nothing. Why does it look all white like that? That's crazy. Let me clean the lens here. There's probably something funky going on with it. Hold on. I don't know why it's. Let me see if I can wipe that off there. There. How about now? That's really weird. It's a little bit better, huh? I think you know what it is. It's the glare. It's the glare off the glass. I don't know what's going on with it. Kind of weird. Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's freaking out. Why is it doing that? That's crazy. Oh, yeah. It's not focusing or nothing. How weird. Okay, so I just put it back on me then. Yeah, it is darker. See, as soon as I started saying that the camera was brighter, it's like the other manufacturers, they don't want you to know this because this is an inexpensive phone. Like I said, it does overheat. It overheats, but in the summertime. But the phone, it's the best camera out of all the different phones I've tried. This one's got like a 50 megapixel camera on it, and at nighttime it looks like day. But you know what? That's right, I was messing with the camera. I'll bet you because I was taking a picture of my eye, and because this one person shows you how to do it, came out with a new idea, so I was trying it out. So I'll bet you that's what it is. I switched the settings on it because I was using it on macro and all kinds of stuff like that, which is what I wanted to talk to you about that too, because you know, I have a background in electronics, right? And so I know how electronics work. They work differently than they used to before, right? Everything's controlled off computers. You know, the old days, you know, yes, the older equipment was better because you have knobs which you can turn. They're way better. You know, if you're gonna use an audio amplifier, you know, you get one of these old Panasonics or old Kenwoods. They're just so much better, right? The ones that don't use a remote control. And yeah, I remember when they first came out with the remote controls. They were just I forgot what the hell I was saying. Oh yeah. So they are deliberately stopping you from using a camera and plugging it into your TV because the resolution on the new TVs is so much more superior. It's so much more advanced in quality, in technology, from the stuff that was available before. Okay, we used to, the quality before was a joke compared to the stuff that they have now. I mean, the picture was wavy. It was controlled off magnetism. The picture was drawn by magnetism. And it was very distorted. There was a lot of distortion in the picture. You didn't know that it was distorted, but it was. When we were playing our VHS tapes, you know, you play a Sony, they're like, look how clear that is, right? Now with this technology, they have to hide crap. They don't want you seeing the imperfections in people. You know, the porno industry, they have to hide this stuff because you can see all the imperfections, you know. And so that, I said all that to say that, come on, a little bit more light. Let me turn this way. I wonder if Or if anybody come over and tell me anything for parking illegally. If I could get right up here and have some light in here. Okie dokie, because that light's pretty bright. I don't see why it's not jiving. Jive talking, you're telling me lies. Uh, just what you're gonna take away my energy with all your jive talking. Okay, that's pretty bright. So, um, let's see what's going on out here. Yeah, that forward facing camera, I gotta play with it tonight. Got to play with it and try and get back to common ground. But see, now it's looks like it's a little bit darker, but that's cool. So how many people in here? One. That's cool, because I don't feel like talking to a whole bunch of people anyway. I'll let you see right here. Oh, hey, let me turn this around. Show you where I'm at. Yeah, but it looks horrible in here. It looks a lot better. That's a picture of a Santa Claus person, but you can't see it because it's all distorted. So I'll try and fix the camera later so it'll look better. But I actually like this because it's a little bit dark. So I have to remember what setting this is. Okay. So show some love, put some hearts in the chat, and so I will talk to you about this. They don't want you hooking up a camera to your TV because it is a superpower microscope. Do you believe me or not? If you don't believe me, then you have not read a book by Barry Lyons, which, by the way, I found some information on Barry Lyons, and I'll give you that information later. But he's the one who wrote about um, this person. He was called Royal Raymond Rife. He was a genius, and he discovered some stuff, and he made his own microscope to be able to do this unheard of stuff that people just couldn't do. He invented the world's most powerful microscope. Okay, I've told you this before. It's like an old story. Any radio technician, CB radio technician, radio technician, audio video technician, with this microscope and a signal generator could put an end to a $1 trillion industry that is bogus. It's been bogus from day one. If you understood the implications of it, there would be revolution overnight. So he invented this microscope. It was 60,000 power microscope. If you go to college, your microscope is going to be no more than 3,000 magnification to this very day. Okay? His was 60,000. It was an optical microscope. This is different than an electron microscope in a big, big way. You can't look at live specimens in on an electron microscope. It's 1,000,000 power, but you can't look at live specimens on it. How many people do you know have one? They don't want you to have one. That's why they went over and they busted his microscopes to crap. They went in there with sledgehammers and axes. This is absolutely documented fact. He was in La Jolla, California, and the FDA went in there without a search warrant. I'm pretty sure it was without a search warrant because that's the way they always do stuff. They don't need no damn search warrant. If you do if you do research on it, you'll find that they're actually from the freaking Nazi Gestapo. Hello, have you ever checked out Project Paperclip? And so I mean, I don't think Project Paperclip would tell you about it, but you know that the richest man in America back in the day, here in the United States, he monopolized medicine. Go in and find out who he is yourself. He was like this with Adolf Hitler. And their bread and butter company is one of the biggest bad guys there is right now. They were the ones doing this phony ass pandemic. Okay? And so they went in there and smashed all his microscope. He had 3 of them. It's called the Rife microscope. It uses a freaking prism or something, and it bends light to look at things. It bent light. It made them illuminate because it hit its resonant frequency. So he came out with this thing that was called an MOR, mortal oscillating rate, to where any radio technician can take this crap, put it on a microscope, and blow the crap out of it. Blow it to kingdom come. Right now, any freaking microorganism you can imagine. Okay? Any radio technician can figure it out. That's how easy it is if you have the microscope. That's why I'm telling you, they don't want you hooking up your shit to your TV. They don't want you hooking up a camera to your TV. That's why it turns off. I've tried it. Okay? I just wanted to let you know that. Because if you hook up your camera to your TV, that's a freaking huge power microscope. And people will get back on it and start figuring this crap out. Because the resolution on the TV is so high, it's like a microscope. I forget how you figure it out. Somebody needs to figure it out and go make a YouTube video about it and show some specimens, right? Show something that's 1 micron in length, and hook it up to your TV. So I just wanted to share that with you because it just, you know, it occurred to me, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Barry Lyons wrote books about this. They probably attacked him. Who knows what they did to him? Okay? They've already knocked a couple of his books. They're out of print. Like I told you, he's up there in age. So I don't know what's going on with them. But one of the books is actually out of print. So you know something's up. Because he wouldn't have let that book go out of print. After everything that he's been through, right? He put this information out there. He's the one who told you about this electronic medicine, and he wrote some other books that I was promoting for a while. And for a while there was dozens and dozens of them. You can get them on Amazon. Now there's none. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're not don't care about electronics, don't even look at it. If his other books were still available, I'd say go look at these books. But the ones that are available now is only the electronic ones. And then there's one green one you'll see there. it's solutions about something, but it's like $40. So, you know, I'm sure there's dozens and dozens of people who have these books, and as soon as they start finding out, they'll put them up. If there's a demand for them, they'll start putting them up on Amazon, used books. Okay, but this is how the information has been getting out there. So that's they're still up. They're still doing the same damn thing. They don't want you looking at a microscope. That's why when I hook up my camera to my TV, it doesn't work. It shuts it off. It doesn't want you looking at this stuff. Do you understand that? Because if somebody goes in there and they take these things that he was looking at, they're going to find the MOR, mortal oscillatory rate, of this one bugger that they are making literally trillions of dollars, and it is a freaking scam. When you understand the ramifications of that, the implications of that, it is freaking evil beyond belief. Few things are as evil as that in this world, and there are some, a few. And and so that's why. So people need to get on board. All these people are doing electronics. Get on there and see if it's true what I'm saying. They're blocking you from hooking up your camera to these new high definition TVs because they don't want you looking at a microscope. That's a huge microscope. Then you people who are know electronics, there's a few of them. There's people on here. There's Valley Tech guy. He's messing around with this stuff. Get the book by Barry Lyons that talks about Royal Raymond Rife and his microscope. Okay? And that way it won't be in vain what he did. Right? He had this stuff figured out back in 1930. They've been freaking hiding it since 1930. It was an electronic device. There was a guy down in San Diego. He started building these things and selling them. They put him in prison over here at Atwater, California. I think his name was Folsom or something like that. He was making millions of dollars selling these devices. They were selling like hotcakes. I told you I was selling devices too. I was selling a Hulda Clark parasite zapper, right? These were going, you could get them for $20, $50, right? I was building Bob Beck stuff. Bob Beck stuff was going for $150. You know, if you buy one right now, they're like $400. And I mean, China could build them for 29 bucks, right? But if you want one, there's only one place you can get them from, and it's from Canada. There's one company that sells them. So if people would start getting back into this, the technicians, the younger technicians who are actually still messing around with this stuff, realize this, that they're hiding. They don't want you looking at this microscope because of what you can do with it. They will find out what the MOR was for this freaking, this critter, this rascal, because they scrambled everything. They scrambled. Royal Rife had the frequencies written down. It has to be precise. And then there was this circuit that came out with FM radio, and it was called the phase lock loop. It was invented by, I think it was Pioneer. It was called the PLL synthesizer on your FM radio. So it locked onto a frequency. It was super precision because of this circuit. And that's exactly what you need to destroy these critters. It's like the lady with the wine glass, right? Woo! And it shatters the wine glass. That's the basic. Um, that's the basics of it. And so once you find it out, you better not tell nobody. At least don't go out here and tell it. Figure out a way to bring it out, okay? Because they've been hiding it, and they've been doing all kinds of really bad things to people. So Barry Lyons is an author who wrote about this stuff that was going on with this scientist. He was a genius. He worked for different people would sponsor him because he was so smart. He would design stuff for these multi-billionaires, and his name was Royal Raymond Rife. And they went over and they busted all his stuff down in San Diego, in La Jolla, California, and they basically turned him into a freaking alcoholic, and he ended up going to Tijuana or Mexico or something, and he just turned into an alcoholic, and that was the end of him. But I've thought about this a lot, and I'm thinking, because in India, in Native American culture, they say that sickness and unwellness is from the spirits of hunted animals. The animals that you treated bad or whatever, that's what their theory is. So, I think about it and I'm like, maybe that's some kind of karma, right? Because, he was doing a lot of experimenting, trying to figure this stuff out. I mean, he would be studying, trying to figure this stuff out all day long, all night long. Right? That's what a scientist is. They have a inquisitive mind, right? You know what I mean? What the hell's going on here? I had my freaking lights on all that time. Okay. So, thanks for tuning in. Check out the book. It's by Barry Lyons. That's Barrylynes. He's an older gentleman, and I haven't heard anything from him in a while. I haven't seen him, on making any videos or anything. So I'm thinking I better pull over here and wait until this window defrosts. So I'm thinking, something's not good. He's really, really up there in age. But the book is called Barry Lyons. The book is called, you'll see what, he's got a couple different books, but the author's name who wrote about this stuff is Barry Lyons. And you find him on Amazon. So, why is this window so... I can't see nothing out of it. Maybe that's why. So I'm trying to see if it'll... Where's all my damn phones at? Okay, 1, 2, okay. Alright, so that's all I've got, people. Broadcasting out of the Central Valley, California. And the time is 7:42. So that's basically 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11. So it's only 11 on the East Coast. So there's probably still a lot of people watching. Yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. And because I've tried to hook up my camera to the TV. I told you I haven't watched TV in 30 years. I just went down and got a TV because I forget why I got the TV. Oh yeah, I was going to use it as like a microscope. I was going to use it to check some things out with the camera. But when I hooked it up, I found out that they've got something in there to block it. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, so all you younger guys will go in there and see what the hell is going on with this. And when you figure out how to get your camera to work on these things, take a look at Royal Raymond Rife. Okay? I think they got some stuff on him on YouTube. You can check it out. But you know, there's gonna be misinformation on there as well. But if you read the book by Barry Lyons, you'll hear everything what happened. Just like Harry Hoxsey. Harry Hoxsey was an oil tycoon over in Texas. They did the same damn thing to him. They used to get rid of people left and right, dude. They did so much crap. You know, I was saying a little bit that maybe, you know, there might be some karma there, but that's besides the point, right? I don't know if it's karma or not. That's just my thinking. You know, that's like saying, oh, well, everything is the way it's supposed to be. You know, the creator is in charge, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to do nothing. No, we do have to do something. If we see something that's not right, we need to do something about it. So that's why I'm telling you about it. You already saw what they did to Kevin Trudeau. They threw him in prison for almost 10 years. You saw what they done to David Icke. They banned him from 30 European countries. He can't even visit 30 European countries. They won't allow him there because they don't want him talking to the citizens, because they are exactly what he says they are. They're freaking reptilian shapeshifters. Look at them. Look at these countries that don't even want him visiting their country. They're kings. Each country has its own king, not presidents. I just saw one and I'm looking at them like, they're exactly like he said. They're freaking reptilian shapeshifters playing it off smooth. Go in and look at them. Orange Man went over there and he met one of these kings. You look at them, look at their body language. They're playing it off smooth. They're acting dumb for the camera, right? Why don't you ever see one just like a regular person? They're always dressing up in these three-piece suits, you know, weird ass crap. You know, it's a big old facade. So I saw these ones and I'm like, they're playing it off smooth. They're faking the people with the camera. And no wonder, because people are so dumb, because they've been dumbed down. They were putting fluoride in their water supply to make them dumb, along with other things, teaching them things that aren't, you know, teaching them wrong answers. Okay, so that forward-facing camera is really, really bad, so I'm going to end the video right here at the Coalinga Taft State Prison intersect on 269 and 33 highway. Talk to you later. Oh yeah, I would show you the stuff that I got. I got my pomegranate. I got my